So all Gold's 40, North Wales Crusaders 22. Lee, that looks a comfortable scoreline, but it wasn't, was it?
No. It was nip and tuck all the way through. I like to think that we're one of the fitter teams in the division. To be fair, I know we might not think that in some of the games, but I do back what we've done training wise, and if it is tight going into the last part of a game, I'm pretty confident there, and I do think we finished stronger than Crusaders there in the last sort of 10-15.
First half was very scrappy, and at times we're vulnerable when we've just scored a try, aren't we? I mean, the amount of mistakes we made from restarts was must be really worrying for you.
Well, I'm not. I'm immune to it now. Really, I'm sort of so used to it that I almost expect them to get the ball back and for us to drop it on play one. We must like defending. We've done that much of it in training that we must really like doing it in games as well. But to be fair, I thought we did defend pretty well again for the amount of ball and field position we gave Crusaders in that first 20-25. You know, sometimes it can work as a positive, believe it or not, because when you come out of that and the opposition haven't scored or they've only scored one, you sort of grow in confidence, and as soon as we put a bit of pressure on Crusaders, we seem to score straight away. So I think, you know, listen, it's still a pretty inexperienced team in there, and some of the game smartness areas, that's where we really struggle, and we struggled with it last week, and we struggle with it a little bit today, like you say, with the kickoffs and other parts of the game. But you know, for effort and determination and just a want to do things, you know, I can't fault them really, and there have been many times that I have been able to this season.
One player who doesn't lack for smartness is Phil Cowburn. He scored 2 tries today. He was a constant threat, and he did some really good things today, didn't he, Phil?
Yeah, Phil probably looked slightly off, as were most of the team last week. He's a smart player. He's gone back to full-back there for the last couple of games, and you know if Phil is going to return the ball well, and he's got some tries in him as well. So you know, we had Jack back at half-back today. I thought he defended pretty well, and Phil, you know, that's probably why he was there. Really, to finish a couple of tries off and a couple of nice little plays he got himself to the end of there.
2 players, Malachi Lloyd-Jones and Kadeem Williams, who have been around the fringes of the team all season. 2 good efforts from them today, I thought, as well.
Yeah, Mal's probably been off the last couple of weeks, coming off the bench, so I thought we'll give him a start today, and I thought his second spell were really good when he got back on, just ran hard and ramped up and caused them a few issues, and I'm glad he scored the try as well. It might just give him a bit of confidence now going into the last 5 games or so. Kadeem's got that in him, you know, he's so strong, looks a bit unorthodox with some of the things he does, but again, for attitude and determination, you can't knock him. He still needs to put that bit of size on to really make an impression in the game, but like I said, some of his one-on-one tackles out there, actually putting guys on the back bigger than him on his own was a pretty good effort. So there's a couple of things, as with everybody, that just need to add to the game, and when they do that, there's some good players in there.
There's been a lot of games this season, Lee, where in previous seasons, you know, with an hour to go and we're just ahead or just behind, we've tended to win the close games, haven't we? That must give you a lot of confidence in your recruitment and in the players.
Yeah, I think the majority of the squad now have been here since day one of pre-season, and that's probably not been quite the case over the last 2 years. We've done a lot of chopping and changing, and by this point of the season, or the previous 2 seasons, you've ended up with probably only half of the lads that have done the pre-season, and half of the lads that have come in. But if you look at the side there, maybe 1 or 2 maybe that were with us for pre-season and early part of the year. So you know, we did work hard in pre-season. We've said a lot about that, and I think some of the things that we did there is still ingrained in that squad. So when it does come to that arm wrestle side of it, I do think the lads are quite fit, and we've ingrained a bit of that sort of defensive determination in them as well. I think that got us over the line today.
Was today, never mind the performance, I mean, it's been a tough old run, hasn't it? Barrow, Toronto, Donny, and then last week down in South Wales. It was crucial for the remaining games of the season that we did win today, wasn't it?
Just for his own sanity, yeah. Obviously, nobody likes going on a losing run, and that were 4 in a row, no matter who the opposition were. So it was nice to get that win, and then obviously your losing run's over then. I just think it was a good response from last week. Again, we worked pretty with the ball, but I think defensively we were better. They made a couple of breaks at the middle, first half, but other than that, I thought we defended quite well, because they did have a lot of ball, especially in the first half. So I think the response from last week, we were very disappointed with last week obviously, but I said to the boys, I think that's the first game this season where we've totally been overwhelming favourites that we've lost. So I can't be too critical of them. Obviously we have made some changes there, and the lads that have come in have made a difference. So we go now in confidence the next week.
Next week, Coventry, a team that have caused us problems since your time here, and we've had some good wins against them. They've brought in a few players since we last played them, so again, on paper, it looks a real 50-50, doesn't it?
It will be, yeah, it will be. I've made no secret that I admire Coventry's way of doing things, and I like the way they run things off the field. We've tried to base everything in Coventry as well, which is what we do as well. They do seem to have quite a few travellers in the squad at the moment. They've recruited quite a bit from Yorkshire and stuff like that, but I think with the way that the season's panned out, although I do think both teams are similar, obviously they find themselves in a bit of a dogfight not to finish last, and they will be wanting to come here to turn us over. They do see us as sort of big rivals as well, and then they'll definitely want to turn us over here after we beat them earlier in the season. So we need to be on it next week, or we'll get beat.